Greetings once again, friend. As I sit here, surrounded by my thoughts, I find that my story is far from finished. It is a tale woven with endless threads, each one unraveling deeper mysteries and discoveries, and I must confess that even now, I am still learning. I am Leonardo, born in Vinci, and this is the story of my life, told not only through my art but through the many paths I walk to discover the truth of the world. My name is Leonardo da Vinci, and this is my life, as I lived it. The birth of a seeker. I was born on April 15, 1452, in a small Tuscan village, far from the centers of art and culture that would later shape my life. My father, Ser Piero, was a notary, a man of order and logic, while my mother, Caterina, was of simple birth, a woman of beauty and grace. I grew up between these two worlds, never quite fitting into either, but finding solace in the natural world. My earliest memories are filled with the sounds of birds and the sight of sunlight filtering through the trees. I would wander for hours, sketching what I saw, my mind always racing with questions about the mechanics of the world. It was this curiosity that defined me from the start. I was not content merely to observe, I needed to understand. This drive to know, to study, to discover, this was my greatest gift and, perhaps, my curse. My mind was never still, and it led me in countless directions, from art to science to engineering, all in the pursuit of truth. Verrocchio's workshop. At the age of 14, I entered the workshop of Andrea del Verrocchio in Florence, where I was exposed to the highest artistic techniques of the day. Verrocchio was a master, skilled in painting, sculpture, and metalwork, and it was under his guidance that I honed my craft. But it wasn't just art that caught my attention, it was the deeper understanding of form, structure, and movement. I found myself constantly studying the anatomy of the human body, the way muscles and bones work together, how light fell on different surfaces. This was not just about creating beauty, it was about understanding the very essence of life itself. In Verrocchio's workshop, I began to forge my own path. I painted my first works under his tutelage, including the Baptism of Christ, in which I painted an angel so lifelike that Verrocchio, upon seeing it, reportedly declared he would never paint again. My skill, even at this young age, was evident, and I began to develop a reputation. Yet, I was never content to rest on my laurels. My thoughts turned to the future, to the possibility of creating something that could transcend time itself. The masterpieces of painting. The Mona Lisa, what a treasure she has become, but to me, she was an exploration of something far more profound than just the portrayal of a woman. She is a study of the soul. When I began her portrait in 1503, I sought not merely to capture her likeness, but to delve into the depths of human emotion. The smile, ever so subtle, the gaze that seems to follow you no matter where you stand, all these elements were designed to evoke the complexity of the human spirit. It was not just the painting of a face, but the expression of a mystery. Then there was The Last Supper, a work born from my desire to depict the very moment of emotional crisis and divine revelation. Commissioned by Duke Ludovico Sforza for the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan, this mural became one of the most famous in history. I studied the emotions of each disciple, capturing not just the shock of betrayal but the deep humanity in their reactions. Jesus, at the center, is calm, he knows the future, but his disciples are caught in the swirl of confusion and disbelief. Every detail of their faces, every gesture, was calculated to speak to the viewer on a profound level. Inventions and designs. Art was not the only realm I explored. My mind, restless and unbound, turned constantly to the world of invention. In my notebooks, I left behind designs for flying machines, helicopters, and even a bicycle. The flying machine, my dream of soaring like the birds, was a testament to my belief that nature could be understood, mimicked, and, perhaps, one day, surpassed. The design for the ornithopter, a machine intended to fly by mimicking the movement of a bird's wings, was one of my greatest achievements in engineering. Though it was never constructed, the idea itself was revolutionary. the very concept of human flight, driven by the study of birds and aerodynamics, set the stage for future discoveries in aviation. Similarly, my sketches of mechanical devices, including early tanks, a diving suit, and a revolving bridge, reveal the depth of my vision. These were not the fantasies of a dreamer, they were based on careful observation, scientific principles, and a deep understanding of how things worked. Anatomy and the human body. One of my most passionate pursuits was the study of human anatomy. To understand the figure in painting, I realized I had to understand how the body was constructed. In Florence and later in Milan, I performed dissections of human cadavers, and through this practice, I gained unprecedented insight into the muscles, organs, and bones of the human body. My anatomical sketches, many of which remain unmatched in their accuracy and detail, allowed me to depict the human form with a precision that had never before been seen. My studies in anatomy not only influenced my art but also laid the groundwork for the development of modern medicine. The precision of my drawings, some of which were centuries ahead of their time, revealed my understanding of the body's inner workings in a way that would not be matched until the work of later anatomists. The final years and legacy. In my later years, I moved to France at the invitation of King Francis I, and it was here that I spent my final days. Though I was in declining health, my mind never ceased its work. I continued to sketch, to plan, to dream. The king, an admirer of my work, provided me with the means to continue my studies, and in his company, I felt the warmth of a kindred spirit. On May 2nd, 1519, I passed from this world, my life a tapestry of art, science, and discovery. I left behind notebooks filled with sketches, diagrams, and ideas, many of which would not be understood for generations. But my legacy is not confined to the pages of my books or the strokes of my paintbrush. It lives on in the questions I asked, the ideas I explored, and the world I sought to understand. The Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, and my other works continue to inspire generations. But my true legacy lies in my relentless pursuit of knowledge, in the way I sought to blend art and science, form and function. In my mind, there was no divide between these fields. They were one and the same, two sides of the same coin. I believed that understanding the natural world could lead us to understanding ourselves. And that's another chapter from the pages of history, proof that the past is filled with legends, leaders, and visionaries who shaped the world we live in today. But history is far from over. There are still so many incredible stories to uncover. So if you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to History's Icons for more legendary tales. Who or what should we explore next? Let me know in the comments, your idea might be the next great story we bring to life. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode of History's Icons, where the past comes to life.